I think the biggest change I made in a pet's life was actually my own cat. So when I had my little clinic, I had some people calling me to say that they had just bought a house in the area. So they were from Denmark and they bought a house in southern Spain. And they said that they had bought the house and they had brought their two fancy cats with them to Spain, and that they found that around the house was this cat lurking that somehow maybe belonged to the prior owner or something. And the way they described it was like a street cat, like a really old cat, really sick, half dying cat that was stressing their cats out because he was trying to get into the house, but he was really sick. And could they bring him to put him down? And in my head, I had like this like skeletic cat, with no teeth and really sick, smelly cat. So they come with a transport box and they put it on the top, and I was expecting this like wild cat I would have to like step between the holes in the box. And I see this ginger male just sitting there looking at me, a very, very ugly cat. So he was obviously not wild. So I let him out and he just like walked out on the consultation table, like looking around saying, okay, I am the king of the castle here, so what's happening? And he was dead cute. He was really ugly, but he was dead cute. And I said, like, I cannot kill this cat. There's nothing wrong with him. He was a chubby ginger. What am I going to do? He's castrated and everything. He didn't have a chip. So they said that there was no way they were taking him back because he was beating up their cats and stressing their fancy cats out. So I said, geez, well, I don't want to put him down. So I don't want to take him, like send him to the kennels either, because I know he's going to be put down. He's just a ginger. He's not a fancy breed. So he's not going to find another home. He was also fairly old. So I said to him, look, the money you were going to pay me to put him down, give it to me anyway, and I'll put it towards food for him, and then I'll try and find another home for him. So whatever money is going to cost me to while I take care of him, then, pay me that, and then I'll keep him. And I kept him in my clinic. I put him in a cage then, in a big cage, in the waiting room, so people could see him. And I put like all sorts of like signs on, this is amazing, and the sub story of how he got there, and tried to get him find a home, and he just didn't. And then came the weekend, and obviously I couldn't leave the cat by himself in the clinic, so I took him home so he could stay with us. Like, we have really nice, it was like, well, it was like an old rabbit farm. We had a lot of area around, there's no road, so I thought he can be there safe over the weekend, then take him back on Monday. And of course he didn't go back on Monday. He stayed with us, and more than changing his life, I mean, his life was obviously changed and safe, but he changed our lives. I think we had him for over 8 years, and he was my sole pet. He became my sole pet. He would come jump up on us, and if my daughter was eating biscuit or something, he would like run up, jump up on the sofa and like bat the biscuit out of their hands and go down and eat it on the floor. He was just so cheeky, so funny. He was a lovely cat. He had an amazing life with us, and that moment definitely changed his life when I was like, there's no way I can kill this cat. What are you doing? And I'm so glad I took him home. That was a little moment, but it was a big moment for us.